Greetings of the day, dear students. Today we have to learn one more lesson from the Footprint Without Feet. That is the thief's story. The story itself it tells about that the story is related to the thief. This lesson is written by Ruskin Bond. You know Ruskin Bond very well. I think so. All are you fan of this Ruskin Bond. Why? Because he is considered to be an icon among Indian writers and the children's authors and top novelist. He is an Indian author of British descent. So that our Indian writer, so he written the stories which is related to the children, those who loves more and more. Here, the thief story it is considered to be a greatest story. How this thief became a gentleman. A young boy makes friends with Anil. Anil trusts him completely and employs him. Does the boy betray his trust? The trust is the main thing in human being's life. If we are not ready to trust anyone, how can we judge the person? If we believe ourselves or we are trust about ourselves, then only we can believe everyone. The trust is the most important aspect in every human being's life. So now we can think about the lesson. Here read and find out is there. Who does I refer to in this story? What is he a fairly successful hand at? What does he get from Anil in a return for his work? So these are all the questions we have to read and to identify the answer. First, we can think about who does I refer into the story. I was still a thief when I met Anil, and though only 15, I was an experienced and fairly successful hand. I was still in a thief when I met Anil. I means here related to the thief. I is related to the thief. He met the boy that is Anil. This thief was nearly 15 years old age boy. He was an experienced and fairly successful hand. Here the fairly successful hand it means shows about that his experience in his profession. His what is his profession? Is he teacher? Is he doctor? Is he employed in any other office? No. Government offices or anywhere? No. He is a thief. The theft is his work. Anil was watching a wrestling match when I approached him. He was about 25, a tall, lean fellow, and he looked easygoing, kind, and simple enough for my purpose. I hadn't had much luck of late and thought I might be able to get into the young man's confidence. The first para is related to the thief, and he explained about himself. He was very well experienced, even though a 15 years old age boy, he was well experienced in his work, that is the theft, stealing. The second para is related to where he had stayed, who he met with the person, that is the Anil. He stayed in Anil's house. He explained about this Anil's character, the physical character. Physical character is related to tall, lean fellow and 25 years old age person. And then his hobby is to watch the wrestling match. While he was watching the wrestling match, on that time I approached him. I means here the thief. He approached Anil. He thought, yes, it was very easy for me to get a trust of this Anil by seeing the person. The thief has a very good character that is related to. By seeing the person's face, he is ready to accept that either can I get a trust by the person or not. You look a bit of a wrestler yourself. I said a little flattery helps in making friends. While he met Anil, the Anil was busy with the wrestling or to watch the wrestling match. So on that time, he want to grab the attention of the Anil, so that he told that you look a bit of a wrestler yourself. You look a bit of a wrestler yourself. It means about that he is ready to praise the person to grab attention or grab a trust on this person. So a little flattery helps. A little flattery, it means the words which is ready to excessive and insincere words. If we see the person, if we met the person in first time, can we explain about the person's personality by seeing the person? It's very difficult. For the normal person, for the generally it is very difficult. The persons those have a experience with themselves, for them it is very easy to um, make the persons to be a trustful feeling about the person. Yeah, I know this person from so many years. The same way, this thief also did the same work. So, do you? He replied. He means here Anil replied that yes, you are telling about me that I'm just like a wrestler myself. Are you ready to agree with yourself also? Which put me off for a moment because at that time I was rather thin. At that time, put me off. It hurted me because I'm thinking about that. I'm praising him as a wrestler, but the person he is, the Anil, he is thinking about me. He has given me the answer that is, you also ready to see like this. Because at the time I was rather thin. Just I looked myself as a thin person. How can be myself as a wrestler? Well, I said modestly. Modestly it means a humble manner. To wrestle a bit. I do wrestle a bit. What's your name? Well, I said, I means here the thief. He said modestly, honorably, or in a humble manner. Yeah, a little bit. I'm also looking like a wrestler. Then Anil asked him, what is your name? Hari Singh. I lied. Because the thief every week and every month is going to change his name. I lied. He told a lie. I took a new name every month that kept me ahead of the police and my former employers. Why he is changing his name? It means to keep away from the police and my former employers. Former employers, it means he is related to this is the person is not working anywhere, just he is working with the thieves. So this is considered here employers. After this introduction, Anil talked about the well-oiled wrestlers who were grunting, lifting, and throwing each other about. I didn't have much to say. Anil walked away. I followed casually. Later, when the Anil listened the introduction about this Hari Singh, then he explained about the wrestlers and why they well oiled because they want to escape from the one to another so that they used to oil their body. Who were grunting. Grunting it means here making a high sound while they are wrestling, then lifting and throwing each other about. They are ready to throw each other. I didn't have much to say because I don't know much more regarding this, so I didn't say anything. Anil walked away. I followed casually. Anil walked from that place to somewhere, and then this thief also followed him casually. Hello, again he said. I gave him my most appealing smile. I want to work for you, I said, but I can't pay you. Hello again, he said. Anil once again he said that, yeah, hello. I gave him my most appealing smile. Appealing means attracting. Here I given an attractive smile. I want to work for you. I'm ready to work for you. I said, but I can't pay you. Anil said that, okay, if you are ready to do the work for me, then do it. But very difficult for me to pay. I'm not ready to give any payment. I thought that, oh, for a minute, perhaps I had misjudged my man. I asked, can you feed me? I thought that over to consider an idea before making a decision. Thought that over. It is the meaning of this is to consider an idea before making a decision for a minute. Then he has taken a minute to give a decision or to deliver his decision to the person. Perhaps I had misjudged my man. So on that time, I thought that I can get easily trust this person. I can get the person easily. I can enter his mind and his home easily. And that time he thought that I misjudged my man. I have taken my opinion regarding this person is wrong. I asked, can you feed me? Feed means here ready to give food. Are you ready to give food? Can you cook? He asked the question. Anil asked the question to this thief, Hari Singh. Can you cook? I can cook, I lied again. At that time, his intention is to enter his Anil's house and to steal something. So that Hari Singh was ready to cook. So he told, okay, I'm ready to cook. If you can cook, then maybe I can feed you. If you are ready to cook for me, then I'm ready to give you a food. He took me to his room over Jamna's sweet shop and told me I could sleep on the balcony, but the meal I cooked that night must have been terrible because Anil gave it to a stray dog and told me to be off. But I just hung around, smiling in my most appealing way, and he couldn't help laughing. Then Anil he took this person to his room. Where was his room? Over the Jamna sweet shop. And he told me that I could have to sleep on the balcony. So later, the thief was instructed the person to cook and to feed. Later, he showed the place to sleep the person also. On that day, the meal was cooked by the thief. It was very terrible. It was very terrible to eat. So that what the Anil did, the Anil gave meal to the stray dog and he told me to be off. To be Off, it means he has already told him to go away from here. But I just hung around. Hung around means here wait at a place to stay for that night. He has waited for a place to stay at that night, smiling in my most appealing way. He's he's ready to give a attraction. He is ready to take a attraction from the Anil so that he is ready to give his attraction smile towards the Anil. And he couldn't help laughing. But he couldn't do anything. Just he showed his smile, even though Anil is not ready to laugh by seeing him. Later he patted me. Then he thought that, oh, today maybe I should not get any places to stay. But the Anil, he patted me on the head and said never mind. He had teach me to cook. But the Anil he didn't get any disturbed by this by the work of Hari Singh. Just he patted him on the head and he said that I'm ready to teach you to cook. So he had already taught him. He also taught me to write my name and said he would soon teach me to write a whole sentences and to add numbers. I was grateful. I knew that once I could write like an educated man, there would be no limit to what I could achieve. He also taught me, yeah, he taught me to cook as well as he taught me to write my name because I'm uneducated. I don't know how to write, how to read a single word. But now he taught me everything. As well as he told me like this, he told to the thief like that. He one day, 100% he will teach him to write the whole sentences and to add numbers also. Then the thief was very grateful to Anil. He knew about that. I could write like an educated. Later, I will be just like an educated person. While I'm reading and I'm writing, as well as I'm ready to achieve myself. That much of a confidence he built himself. It was quite pleasant working for Anil. I made the tea in the morning and then would take my time buying the day's supplies, usually making a profit of about a rupee a day. I think he knew I made a little money this way, but he did not seem to mind. Every day I'm giving him some more. Every day he is giving me some more words as well as some more writing techniques and then some more reading techniques and all these things. Along with this, he has given me in charge that is a cook as well as the thief has to purchase some daily supplies. Usually, the thief in his mind is thinking about that how can I rob the person so that while he is in the grocery shop or anywhere on that time, he used to profit 1 rupee per day. This Anil knows this very well. He didn't tell anything. He didn't say the or the ask the question regarding the supplies or the remaining changes also. Han made my money by fits and starts. He would borrow 1 week, lend the next. He kept worrying about his next check, but as soon as it arrived, he would go out and celebrate. It seems he wrote for magazines, a free way to make a living. Anil made money by fits and starts. Fits and starts, it means without regular income. Fits and starts. He doesn't have any regular income. Just with the irregular burst of The activity in his work is actually Anil was a writer. He's giving some articles to the magazines. So when he given, occasionally he get the money. When he get the money, either it's a 1 week he is ready to lend the money, 1 week he is ready to borrow the money from some others. He kept worrying about his next check. Yes, every time he is thinking about that. When should I get the check from the other people? So this para shows about that. This para shows about that he doesn't have any regular income with himself. When he get the money, when the money is not there, on that time he is ready to borrow the money from some other persons and lend it in the next week also. When he get the check, on that time he is ready to celebrate it, to go out from the home and to celebrate it in some other places also. Usually he wrote for magazines a queer way to make living. Queer, it means strange. It's a strange way because the thief's duty is to thief, to make a to steal something from some other persons. But here, when he entered this Anil's house, he thought that can I get some more money from here. When he entered real life of the Anils, then he realized that yes, this Anil doesn't have a regular income. So he knows his everything, background and everything. The thief knows this Anil's background, everything very well. One evening, he came home with a small bundle of notes, saying he had just sold a book to a publisher. At night, I saw him tuck the money under the mattress. Now the story begins. Till here, the character of this Anil, character of this Hari Singh, and what is the work of the Hari Singh as well as what is the work of the Anil. How the Hari Singh get trust by the Anil and all this. Now the real story it starts. The one evening, usually after the selling of the magazine, Anil got some more money. The same way, one evening also he got some amount and then a bundle of notes. And then this person, when this thief, he saw the money, and as well as he observed the Anil that where he has to put the money, because the stealing is the profession of the thief. I saw him tuck the money under the mattress. Tuck. This is a tuck. This is not a truck. Tuck the money. Tuck it means to put something into safe. He kept the money under the mattress. I had been working for Anil for almost a month, and apart from cheating on the shopping, had not done anything in my line of work. Line of work, it means this is the participle activity in your life that you do to earn money. The line of work, what we are ready to do the work to for our livelihood, that is considered here as a line of work. Here, what is the line of work? The line of the work for the thief is a stealing. I had every opportunity for doing so. Anil had given me a key to the door. I could come and go as I pleased. He was the most trusting person I had ever met. I came to Anil's house for the sake of the stealing, but now I trusted by Anil more and more. I can do my work in anywhere or any time, but the Anil was a irregular income person. Anil had given the I had I had every opportunity to steal everything, but I didn't do anything because this para shows about that the trust which makes the person to be careful, to be believable. So the Anil given him a key of the door. That shows about that the house key also, as well as he was most trusting person. The thief was the most trusting person for the Anil, as well as the thief also met this trustful person in his life. This is the first time, and that's why it was so difficult to rob him. The trust which makes the person to be careful in his life, to rob him. It's easy to rob a greedy man because he can afford to be robbed. But it is difficult to rob a careless man. Sometimes he doesn't even notice he has been robbed. What that takes all the pleasures out of the work. So he given one phrase that is it's very easy to rob a greedy person. The greedy person's work is to he can afford to be robbed because the greedy person every time he used to make money by his greediness. Here the thief also given the phrase that is he can afford to be robbed. He also afford himself as a robber. His activity is also just like similar to the robbing. So it's very easy to rob. But it is very difficult to rob the careless person. The careless person, if he robbed by some other person, he doesn't or he is not ready to show any tension by in his face. He has been robbed and that takes all the pleasures out of the work. He is not ready to show any pleasure. If I lost, for example, the person is there, one is a greedy person, one is a careless person. The greedy person, he loves the money more and more, and then he is ready to show his um, angriness or annoyedness or tension. Oh, today I lost this, today I lost this. But the careless person, if he lost anything, he is neglecting that. Yeah, today I lost this. No, the next day I would be very careful for that. Or he will feel like this. I lost this. The next day, 100% I will get it. So this thinking, it is in Hari Singh's mind. Well, it's time. I did some real work. I told myself I am out of practice. And if I don't take the money, he will only waste it on his friends. After all, he doesn't even pay me. Yes, this Hari Singh, he thought that, yeah, anyway, why should I think about he is a careless person or he is a greedy person? Just I have to think about my work, real work. What is my real work of this person? That is a real work of this person. If I am not ready to steal the money, then this Anil is ready to waste the money on his friends. After all, he is not ready to pay me a single rupee also. So that Hari Singh was ready, Hari Singh decided to steal the money. Anil was asleep. A beam of moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. I sat up on the floor, considering the situation. If I took the money, I could catch the 10:30 express to Lucknow. Slipping out of the blanket, I crept up to the bed. Anil was sleeping peacefully. His face was clear and unlined. Even I had more marks on my face, though mine were mostly scars. Anil was asleep. That was the time of the night. The beam of a moonlight stepped over the balcony and fell on the bed. This Hari Singh was thinking about that how can I steal the money or not? If I steal the money, I can move to Lucknow by the 10:30 express train. Later, He decided to steal the money. So he is slipping out of the blanket and he crept up to the bed. Crept, it means without making a single sound, just like a crawling, crawling to the bed. But the Anil, he don't know all these things. Anil, peacefully he slept. His face was very clear and unaligned. It shows about that he was in a deep sleep. Even I have more marks on my because the even yeah, this sentence it shows about that I had more marks on my face. It shows about that the thief was very tensioned. Either the Anil, if he get up, what can I do? Because the Anil was very trustful person to the Hari Singh, as well as Hari Singh also very trustful person for the Anil. If he thought I am a thief, so that this Hari Singh's face was completely filled with a line, though mine were mostly scars. My hand slid under the mattress, searching for the notes. When I found them, I drew them out without a sound. Anil sighed in his sleep and turned on his side towards me. I was startled and quickly crawled out of the room. When the Hari Singh was in search of the notes, without making any sound, on that time, the Anil just he showed his sign, and then he turned on his side towards the thief. On that time, this Hari Singh was very startled. Startled it means showing sudden shock. Startled it means showing sudden shock and quickly crawled out of the room. He quickly crawled out from the room without making a single sound. He went from the room. When I was on the road, I began to run. Till here, the Hari Singh was stolen the money of this Anil. When I was on the road, I began to run. I had the notes at my waist, held there by the string of my pajamas. I slowed down to a walk and counted the notes. 600 rupees in 50s. I could live like an all rich Arab for a week or two. When he was on the road, he had already grabbed all the amount of this Anil. He didn't count there also. When he was on the road, he started to run. Where he kept the amount? He kept the amount at his waist. Mm, as well as when he slowed down to walk and he counted the amount. Nearly 600 rupees it was there. That's a 50 rupees note, a bundle which contains the 50 rupees notes, completely 600 rupees. Then he thought that, oh, I should be live 1 or 2 weeks just like as a mm, Arab for a week or two. Arab it means Arabian, a richest person. The Arabian just like that much of the mm, showcased life, I can lead 1 or 2 weeks. That's the mentality of the thief. When I reached the station, I had not stopped at the ticket office. I had never bought a ticket in my life, but dashed straight to the platform. The Lucknow Express was just moving out. The train had still to pick up speed, and I should have been able to jump into one of the carriages. But I hesitated. For some reason I can't explain, and I lost the chance to get away. When he entered to the railway station on that time, this Lucknow Express is ready to go, as well as it started to moving also. So it was very easy for this thief to enter the carriage, but on that time he was very hesitant to enter that. Maybe because of the trust of this Anil. When the train had gone, I found myself standing alone on the deserted platform. No one was there, only one person. He thought about that. Yeah, I was only one person stand here. Why should I stand? I had no idea where to spend the night. Till that day, nearly a month, the thief was stayed with the writer Anil, as well as he gained the trust of the Anil, so that it was very difficult for him to leave the Anil and to move somewhere. Spend the night. I had no friends, believing that friends were more trouble than help. And I did not want to make anyone curious by staying at one of the small hotels near the station. The only person I knew really well was the man I had robbed. Leaving the station, I walked slowly through the bazaar. The thief was, when he missed the train, on that time he thought about that. Where can I stay the night? As well as he was not ready to stay in the small hotel, because the people of the hotel, or the manager, or the suppliers, or the keeper, or anyone, they will be very curious about this person. So that, for to avoid all these things, he thought about that I have one trustful person, that is Anil. So that he left the station and slowly through the bazaar. In my short career as a thief, I had made a study of man's faces when they had lost their goods. The greedy man showed fear, the rich man showed anger, the poor man showed acceptance. But I knew that Anil's face, when he discovered the theft, would show only a touch of sadness, not for the loss of money, but for the loss of trust. Then he was thinking about that Anil. He knew that Anil was a very good person. And then the thief, he has a face reading technique with himself. Earlier, he told about that the greedy man's and the careless man's personality. So he told, if the study of the men's faces when they had lost the goods, the greedy man showed fear, because he was thinking about that. From that day to today, my greediness, it makes me to be a rich. Today I lost the things, the goods. How can I get it? By my greediness. So that it was the fear. I lost all this. How can I get it? It is the fear. But I knew the rich man showed anger. The richest person, he said to show the angriness by to the other persons, um, to the other persons, just like the either a secretary or any assistants or anyone. They are ready to show their angriness. But the poor man showed acceptance. Yes, I lost today. Tomorrow I will get it. That is the acceptance. Yes, and the people are ready to accept the day to day's life. But the richest person, they are not ready to agree with that. The greedy persons also the same. They have a fear. Can I get it one time or not? But the poor people, they are ready to agree with themselves. Today I lost. Maybe tomorrow I will get it. So that the peace of the mind, it tells about the person's personality. But I knew that Anil's face because I have spent nearly 1 month. So spent my lifetime in Anil's with Anil's 1 month. So I know the Anil's face. I would show only a touch of sadness because he is ready to show one sadness. He is not ready to think about the loss of the money. Only he is thinking about the loss of the trust or the belief. I found myself in the Maidan and sat down on the bench. The night was chilly. It was early November, and the light drizzle added to my discomfort. Soon it was raining quite heavily. My shirt and pajamas stuck to my skin, and cold wind blew the rain across my face. Later he sat down on the bench, and then that night was completely chill, as well as that was drizzling and raining. So that the Steve's pajama and the shirts both were the wet, both became a wet, and the cold wind blew rain across his face. I went back to the bazaar and sat down in the shelter of the clock tower. He had taken a shelter under the clock tower while he was in the bazaar. The clock showed midnight. I felt for the notes. They were damp for the rain. Everything damp means wet. The notes which had been stolen by this Harit Singh, which is belonging to the Anil. It was completely wet by the rain. Anil's money. In the morning, he would probably have given me 2 or 3 rupees to go to the cinema. But now I had it all. I couldn't cook his meals, run to the bazaar, or learn to write whole sentences anymore. He thought about that. This is the Anil's money. Morning, when he get up on that time, he said to give me 2 or 3 rupees to go for the cinema. But no one is there to teach me. If I learn to write, then I will earn more and more. So that he was thinking about his education. I have forgotten about them in the excitement of the theft. Whole sentences I knew could one day bring me more than few hundred rupees. It was a simple matter to steal, and sometimes just as a simple to be caught. But to be a real big man, a clever and respected man, was something else. I should go back to Anil, I told myself, if only to learn to read and write. I was thinking about that. Yeah, yesterday I have already stolen 600 rupees. It was really a very big amount to him, as well as it was a simple matter to steal, as well as it was a big matter to caught also. Sometimes it was just simple, but to be a big and a real man, this was the wrong work. So now I have to move back to the Anil and I have to tell all these things, and then I'm ready to get the education by this Anil. I hurried back to the room feeling very nervous, for it is much easier to steal something than to return in it undetected. I opened the door quietly, then stood in the doorway. In clouded moonlight. Anil was still asleep. I crept to the head of the bed, and my hand came up with the notes. I felt this breath on my hand. I remained still for a minute. Then my hand found the edge of the mattress and slipped under it with the notes. The Hari Singh, he came back from that place to from station and the bazaar. He went everywhere, but he didn't get satisfied because of this stealing the money. So here he came here to um, give him back to the give the Anil to the money. So he came on that time. It was a midnight. Anil was slept. By seeing Anil's face, quietly he sat a minute, and then he kept all the notes under the mattress. I wake late next morning to find that Anil had already made the tea, because whole night he spent his time in the outside, so that he woke on awake the next morning to be a bit of a late. But the Anil, he had made a tea for him also. He stretched out his hand towards me. There was a 50 rupees note between his fingers. My heart sank. I thought I had been discovered. Yes, Anil, he had given a tea as well as 50 rupees to this Hari Singh. On that time, Hari Singh was completely um, thinking about that. Yeah, what I did that was a wrong thing yesterday night. I made some money yesterday, he explained. Now you will be paid regularly. Then the Anil he told that yesterday morning to the evening I sold magazines and all this. I made some money. So regularly I am ready to pay you 50 rupees so that you may take the 50 rupees. My spirits arose. But when I took the note, I saw it was still wet from the night's rain. My spirits rose. Steve, he thought about that. Maybe this Anil, he knows everything, even though he didn't tell or he didn't ask a single question regarding this. This it means related to the stealing these notes. But when Hari Singh get the note on that time, he felt about that it was quite wet by the night rain. Today we will start writing sentences, he said. Till that he learned the words, the alphabets, and reading and all this. Now Anil said that today onwards you may start to write the sentence. He knew Anil, he knew this Hari Singh and his works yesterday night regarding the yesterday night stealing and the heavy he stepped under the heavy rain and he came back and he kept all the notes below the mattress and all these things. Anil knows it very well, even though he didn't ask a single question regarding that, but neither his lips nor his eyes showed anything. He's not ready to show anything. So that Hari Singh he told that he is a poor person as well as a careless person. I smiled at Anil, my most appealing way, and the smile came by itself without any effort. Hari Singh also agreed this Anil's words, Anil's action. Automatically his appealing attractive smile, it came from by itself, not by the effort. Finally, the story tells about that the trust which gets more importance in everyone's life. By the trust, we can change the angry person to be a peaceful person. We can change this careless person to be a careful person. We can change the thief